Today is a big day. I'm 3 weeks out from the Rocky Racoon, which is on February 1st. Right now it's January 11th. It's 6:47 a.m. and we got a really big run. So the goal for today is either 8 hours or 50 miles, whichever comes first. So it's probably going to be 8 hours. Normally my paces in the trails are around like 11 to 12 minute paces on average. So yeah, it's probably going to be 8 hours. I'll probably get somewhere in like the low 40s or something like that. But right now it's dark out and it snowed a little bit overnight. So just for my own safety, I'm going to clock in some miles on the road in the beginning until the sun comes up, and then we'll go into the trails. So that'll speed things up a little bit just in the beginning. I'll probably clock in like 6 to 8 miles or something, and then we'll get into the trails, and yeah, it's gonna be a long journey. All right, so we're in the back of my car because it's cold out and I don't want to be outside right now until I'm all suited up. But let's run through the stuff I got today. So I got 2 scoops of my the Relight electrolytes. So I think it's like 1,300 milligrams of sodium each. So got some electrolytes in here. This is all just water. So I have whatever, like over a gallon of water. I also brought a change of gloves, hat, and socks. Got my headphones, the Shocks headphones. But ultimately, I am running on the road for a couple miles in the beginning. So I have my Saucony Endorphin Speed. I think they're the 4s. So I have those. The fuel outside of like G1M Sport. So this will be what I'll fill up my bottles with. If you've seen the last video, it's the same sort of deal. So I got the soft flasks here that I'm going to be wearing this vest to carry those. I also got my Theragun for some recovery work. But outside of that, and my gels, I have a bunch of gels in here as well. I'm gonna rock with raisins, and this store-bought California roll sushi. So the reason why I chose these options is because raisins are just straight carbs, and I could just shovel raisins in my mouth. So I feel like this is just an easy thing to eat throughout the day today. And I chose this store-bought sushi because just rice for carbs, some fats from the sauce and avocado, and soy sauce. I'll be covering it in that. So it's sodium, fats, it's quick carbs. I feel like it's just easy to put down, and it's not raw fish, right? I think this is just avocado and imitation crab, so it shouldn't bother my stomach at all. But yeah, I'm gonna get suited up and we're gonna start clocking in some miles on the road, and just not think about the pain ahead of us, and just start going. All right, 5.5 miles in, a little over 50 minutes. I'm still running on the road. Sun's up. I'm gonna take my first gel. Probably do another 5 miles back to my car. So I'll have 10 miles clocked on the road, and then I'll suit up for the trails, and we'll keep it going. All right, I'm 10.66 miles in. The time right now is 1 hour, 41 minutes. So that means I'm gonna take another gel, and I'm basically gonna suit up, put my trail shoes on, and start clocking in miles in the trail. I want to go over my athletic background quick because it may seem, I'm training to run 100 miles like maybe I was some extraordinary athlete, and that's not the case. I was a very normal athlete. So I didn't do any sports in middle school, and I pretty much just played video games. And then high school, I just wrestled. So I wrestled from freshman year to senior year, all 4 years. And in between wrestling season, I pretty much just lifted weights. So the way that I got into running was, I was in college. I had pretty much just been drinking and getting wasted all the time, and I definitely missed the feeling that I got as a wrestler. I missed just the dog feeling, like sweating like crazy, like working out like an animal. So when I finished college, I wanted to do some sort of challenge, and I watched a lot of Nick Bear videos, so I signed up for a marathon, trained for that, and I ran that. And yeah, that was pretty much the start of my running journey, if you will. So I ran that marathon, and then the following year I ran it again, and then I tried to run the Rocky Racoon 100-miler. So at that point in 2024, last year, I had like 2 years of running experience. And yeah, I ended up quitting at mile 70. It was like 20 hours or so, not of like straight running. I had some breaks and stuff, but 20 hours total time, about 70 miles. And yeah, then I ran that same marathon again, and now I'm training to get redemptions. Hopefully you can see me. I have my phone posted up on a tree, so might be a little crooked. I gotta stand on my tippy toes a little bit, but I don't know if you could see. 15.13 miles in. 2 hours, 36 minutes, 30 seconds. So, feeling good. Time for another gel. We're just gonna keep hammering. Yeah, overall, feeling good. Coming off of that deload week. So, my legs are a little tight, my hamstrings. I hit legs yesterday at the gym, nothing crazy, but did some hamstring work, some glute bridges, or like hip thrusts. So hamstrings are a little sore, but we'll be all right. They're gonna be sore at mile 80, so that's for sure. I'm gonna keep chugging along, and I think around the 4-hour point, the halfway point, is when I'll go eat that store-bought sushi, and hopefully it doesn't bother me. We'll see. But I'm also like testing out the food that I'm gonna be using during the race, and for whatever reason, I just felt like I think raisins and store-bought sushi is gonna be a good choice. Alrighty. Again, I have my phone positioned like very awkwardly on a tree branch, so hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can see that. 20.8 miles in, 3 hours, 33 minutes, or 34 minutes. So, gel number, what are we on? 4. I'm gonna take this, and then I'm gonna finish up this hour so that I hit hour 4, the halfway point. And then I'm gonna go back to my car, and that's when I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna use the Theragun a bit, you know, drink some water, eat my food and stuff, like take maybe like a 15-minute break, and then we'll get back out to hammering. We've hit the 4-hour mark. I am 22.8 miles in, a little bit less than I wanted. I definitely wanted to be a little bit closer to 25, but I am doing pretty good at like paces and stuff. I'm doing fine. So at the end of the day, 8 hours or 50 miles is the goal. So if I get like 45 miles or whatever, I'm cool with that. It's a big effort. While I'm eating, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the previous Rocky Racoon in 2024 that I DNF'd, did not finish. I quit at mile 70. So to preface, before I say anything, I want to say the reason why I didn't finish the race is because I quit, right? I don't want any of this to sound like an excuse when I talk about like the reasons why I quit. The race absolutely fucking broke me. It crushed my soul, my will, my human spirit. I was completely destroyed by the race, and I cried my eyes out and quit. So that's why I want to go back. But yeah, so let's get into it a little bit. So I think for me, the biggest thing was the mud. So if anybody like saw the race or had been like ran the race or whatever, it was like thunderstorming the night before and everything. So the mud was insane. Like I had never ran in mud like this. You know, it was literally like ankle deep mud, like the entire course pretty much. A lot of the course was just, you know, it was trails, and it was like pouring rain the day before and stuff. So, and all the people that kept running over the mud, like made the mud worse and worse and worse, to the point where like what was originally just a little bit of mud was like just destroyed. The ground was like destroyed. So pulling your foot out of the mud over and over and over again, like I think made the soreness in your hip flexors, you know, your hips, your legs, like everything in your lower body. I literally think it like maybe doubled the difficulty, which like, hey man, that, you know, you're out there to suffer, so that's what you got. So I'm not like upset by that. I intentionally ran the race because I knew I could run a marathon. Not to say that marathons are easy. Marathons are very hard. And especially when you try to run them fast, right? They could be extremely hard. But I knew I could run a marathon, and I wanted a goal that I was basically afraid of. You know, something that I could train as hard as I possibly can, and still there is a real possibility that I completely fail to achieve it. Like I wanted a goal that I was genuinely afraid of, and I got that, man. I was afraid of that race, and it crushed me. So I want to go back. I want to get redemption. But yeah. So if you don't know what the race is, it's in Huntsville State Park in Texas. So it's just a state park trail system, like woodlands and stuff. And Lot of roots in that trail system, but overall it's pretty like flat. You know, of course there's elevation gain and loss, but it's like pretty much flat. So good race to start out on, I guess. But yeah, I mean, mile 0 to it's 5 20-mile loops. First loop, I did it in around 4 hours. I was kind of just like trying to go for a sub 24-hour goal, just as like a loose goal. So I was just feeling good, just going, but my heart rate was higher due to the mud and stuff like that. Like my heart rate was kind of coasting in like the high 140s, like 150s, and I think like that was bad. I was kind of like pushing it a little bit early on. And I even noticed, I remember vividly, there were some guys, these two guys that were running together, and I saw they had like a Leadville Ultramarathon shirt on, which the Leadville 100-miler is like insane, like you're climbing mountains, you know? So I was like, you guys did Leadville? You know, they were like, yeah, whatever. So I had like a small conversation with them, and then they were like going kind of slow to what I thought. So I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, all right, I'll see you guys around, you know? So I passed them. Guess who passes me at mile 60 when I'm crying alone, or not, I would say maybe like 65, when I was like crying at night in the woods. Those guys, they passed me. So, you know, they definitely had experience over me, and I think I was just pushing it too hard in the beginning. So, second loop, I believe it was like 5 hours or something. Still was doing all right. I would say mile 30 is where I started to feel like my legs hurt. Like I was like, uh-oh. We got to mile 40, and then when I set out from mile 40, the mindset, you know, started to decline a little bit. I was like, this is starting to really hurt, and I have a long way to go. Mile 50, legs were really hurting. And that hitting the halfway point was like very demoralizing. Even though like I just hit the halfway point, it was like, oh, I just hit the halfway point. Like I am shot right now. So that hurt. And the sun was going down. So I finished the loop, mile 60, sun was down. It had just gotten dark. And I wanted to quit so bad. Like that 50 to 60 really started to take a toll on me mentally, especially with the sun going down. And yeah, just pretty much in so much pain, and just knowing that I had so much left to go was really hurting me. So, I don't really remember how long that loop took, but I remember at the end of mile 60, 2 loops remaining, I took about a 1-hour break. I sat in my car, the car that we rented, with the heat blasting pretty much, because I was cold and wet the whole time. Yeah, I didn't even mention that. Your feet are soaked the entire time, so my feet were like, you know, raisins, like skin peeling off, like just destroyed toenails. But yeah, I wanted to quit bad then, but I knew like I couldn't quit. I gotta keep going. So finally dug myself out of that sort of mental cave I was in, and embarked on mile 60 to 80, the 4th loop. And started off okay, kind of walking, jogging. But as my pace slowed, my body continued to obviously be like sore and get more sore. Sun went down. It's colder now. It was probably like 45 degrees, but I was starting to walk more, like walk, jog, and I think all the, all the sweat like evaporated. I hadn't no sweat going anymore, and it really, like, it was a really steep, quick decline. Domino effect, the mindset, everything. Mile 60 to 70 crushed me. Like mostly 60 to 65. Yeah, I pretty much got crushed. I'm shivering out there, like it's maybe 12 o'clock at night at this point. In the woods, you're alone. You don't really see people that often anymore. So I have my headlamp and I'm just shivering. I couldn't run anymore. My legs were destroyed. So now it's sounding like I'm making a bunch of excuses, but that's just the reality. I was shot. Just crying my eyes out. I call up one of my friends who was gonna pace me at mile 70, and I was like, yo, you need to bring the car, like I'm freezing. And yeah, at mile 70 I just got in the car, and I was just crying my eyes out, man. I was like, I'm done. I am done. So now it's time to go back, tie up the loose ends. That ended up being about like a 25-minute break. Just like eating, filling up my bottles and all that stuff. And now I'm cold, my sweat's gone, my legs are all beat up and stuff. So I gotta get back out there quick. A little time check. It is 11:38. So let's keep it going. .02 miles in, 5 hours, 46 minutes, 12 seconds. So, hammering away. I haven't taken a gel yet since I ate. Still just like a bit full, I mean, it was like probably 450 calories or something for the sushi. But yeah, like, my legs hurt and stuff, but overall, all things considered, I'm fine. So I'm just gonna keep sipping on the bottles, keep cranking it out. We're definitely getting into that pain cave sort of area where it's like I'm just gonna put my head down and just keep clocking it in. Paces are definitely slowing a little bit, but I'm still holding like 10-minute mile stretches. It's just some miles, maybe I'll run a mile and then I'll kind of walk, jog. So, what can you expect? But overall, doing good. So, gonna keep hammering, and I'll update you in a bit. So, see you then. This is an interesting angle we got going on, but it is mile 32. Let me see if I can get that in the camera. So 32.02, 6 hours, 14 minutes. So, been running for a little while, that's for sure. So I'm gonna take a gel. I haven't taken a gel in a while. Probably kind of a bad idea, but I've been feeling full, like I said, so got like 2 hours left. let's keep it going. No need to feel sorry for myself. No need to talk down. No need to complain. Just gotta keep going. It will end eventually. So, I'll keep banging them out. I'll see you soon. Mile 36. 7 hours, almost 7 hours, 10 minutes. So I'm gonna take another gel. We're a little tired out here. Brain function, definitely low. I'm in this trail system that I've been in before. I've ran in it before, but I thought I kind of knew where I was going a little bit more. So I'm not like lost. I'm on the trail that will bring me back to the beginning. I just don't know how long it goes for. So kind of whatever, it is what it is. My brain is probably deprived of carbs and sodium right now. All I can focus on is just running. I also I wanted to get out of here, this trail system, at mile 35, or turn around at mile 35 and start heading back. I'm all out of liquids here, and I'm almost all out on that side too. I don't know, got some miles to get back, so that's rather unfortunate, but we'll live nonetheless. It's just kind of stupid by me. Should have stayed on the trails that I knew, but it is what it is. So, all right, just over 8 hours, just under 40 miles. I'm actually like I think around 2 miles away from my car, so run's not over, which is fine because I took like half hour worth of breaks. So if I have to stack on another half hour here, kind of evens it out. So yeah, it was because I got lost back in that trail and clocked in a couple more miles than I anticipated. So pretty much all out. I'm thirsty, so I'm just gonna keep clocking them in. Pretty much ever since mile 30, like I just kind of hit a brick wall. Honestly, I've been kind of hitting some crappy paces, but I mean, overall 40 miles in 8 hours, taking some breaks and stuff, like I'm gonna be running slower than that for the ultra. So, I have mixed feelings about it, but overall, put in a solid effort. All right, I'm back in my car. I'm gonna keep this brief because it's cold, it's windy, I'm in pain, and I just ran for 8.5 hours. But yeah, it ended up being, I'll pull up the stats on my watch in a second, but let's see, it ended up being 42.44 miles, 8 hours, 36 minutes, 25 seconds, average pace of 12:10. So that includes the breaks that I took. I just kept the watch running the whole time. So, clocking in that extra 30 minutes, like made up for the 30 minutes that I took for like breaks. So it's fine. I had like 8 hours of like actual running, moving time. So yeah, I'm gonna head home, shower up. I'm going to a friend's house, gonna just slaughter pizza and lay on a couch. Yeah, so I'll probably get back to you guys later on and sort of give a little recap and close this one out, but I'm gonna head out, so run complete. So it's actually a few weeks after I did that run right now. It is February 9th. So unfortunately, right after that run, I got the flu, which I then recovered from, and then it was like I was pretty healthy, like a week and a half out from the race, and then I was leaving, or my flight was on January 31st, which was a Friday. I was gonna leave at 6 a.m. Thursday night, or Thursday sort of afternoon, I got like some stomach bug, and I was just like puking, fever, like up all night, didn't drink anything, didn't eat anything, and then I woke up at 3 a.m. for my flight, like to get ready for my flight, and I was just shot. So there was no way I was even getting on a plane, let alone going to run 100 miles. It was just really bad timing. I was literally like the Monday or Tuesday, I went back to the gym. So it was literally just that weekend that I was supposed to do the race. I was just sick, and then right when the race was over, I was pretty much healthy. So I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Pretty upset about it, but not gonna dive too deep into that in this video. But yeah, I think I prepared well, and if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate it. I think that 8-hour run definitely prepped me well, and I was feeling pretty confident going into the race. So I don't know what my next steps are, what race I'm gonna run next, but definitely going back in 2026. I have to get my redemption on that race for sure. So I'll have another year of running under my belt, but until then, I'm just gonna keep grinding, keep running, and I'll find a new race to run. So thank you. Peace.